Join us now with more on this is Alex Thompson. He's a national political correspondent at Axios. I don't know, though, Alex, a lot of cross currents. That was a very, I don't know, the commencement speech at Morehouse has got a lot of commentary as well. That did not seem to signal any sort of conciliatory tone towards headed to the middle. You agree with that?
Well, Joe Biden is trying to do a little bit of both, just like any politician. He's being pincered by his left and by the middle right now, and so you're seeing one day he's going to go and try to shore up his base. The next day he's going to try to reach out to moderate voters in Wisconsin. And what you're seeing here in terms of moving to the middle, what's really striking is on some of these issues, particularly when it comes to trade. The middle has completely changed in just the last decade. The pendulum swung so fast from this bipartisan consensus of free trade to now a bipartisan consensus of more restrictionist or trade wars, trade skirmishes. And Biden's argument is not that trade wars or trade skirmishes are bad. It's just that he'll do them better than Donald Trump does.
It's kind of haphazard, though, too, Alex, now reaching out to CEOs, but again, trying to deal with that fiasco, claiming to have, that he came into office when inflation was 9%. So that didn't really, that was called out almost immediately. And now, again, I heard yesterday all about corporations gouging and yet reaching out to corporate CEOs. It's kind of haphazard and shooting from the hip, but it's almost scattershot, hoping something, I think, sticks because the recent polls, and it may believe them or don't believe them, but they all are kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's, scattershot is probably the right way to describe it, where, the White House is desperately trying to find a way to message on inflation. And sort of their go-to move, especially the first 2 years when inflation was happening, was to really, ding CEOs, ding corporate America. That was their move. Now what you're seeing is, especially under Jeff Zients, chief of staff, they've really tried to reach out to corporate America much more, especially in the last 6 to 8 months. This has been an initiative driven by Zients, especially after a lot of corporate America, I can tell you, really felt that not only was the White House hostile to them often, but they didn't know anyone in this White House, that they really didn't even have like the cell number of, many people at the top. And so to your point, they're basically still doing some of the old messaging on inflation, ding corporate America, while at the same time trying to, rehabilitate some of the relationships with the business community. And I think a lot of people that I talk to, in corporate America, and including Democrats, don't quite know which way they're trying to go.
There can be a kind of a cynical viewpoint. We're so cynical, the public, about Washington at this point, I think, Alex. We know that they don't even have 50 votes to bring this immigration bill up again, and they need 60. And they're going to go through the motion totally as a electioneering political ploy to say, look, now we care about immigration. And they're going to do it. And you cover it so closely. Do you ever get tired of it and say, I'm going to go, I don't know, be a forest ranger or something? It's hard. It's hard to watch.
Well, I'm a terrible camper, so not really. I'd probably burn down the park before.
You're not Smokey Bear?
No, exactly. So, no, I wouldn't describe myself as cynical, but yeah, we're in election season. You should take everything cynically. If I didn't find it interesting, I guess I should probably get my backpack ready. But you are going to see them bring up this immigration bill, and it's a lot of kabuki theater. But election year is full of kabuki theater, and the whole point of this is. You see every single poll that shows that Donald Trump is trusted by more Americans on immigration. The White House knows that number and is going to try to, and maybe not win the issue, but make Donald Trump win it less, because Donald Trump has essentially told the Republicans that he doesn't want to see that he wants the issue going into election year. So he's also doing a very cynical thing where he doesn't want there to be any progress on the issue and let Joe Biden get a bipartisan win.